everyone, it's me, Chris, from Body Nova Fitness Coaching. And what I wanted to ask you guys today is, I want you to think about what you're doing this for. If your primary goal is to look good, some of the ways that you would approach doing some of these exercises would be different if you just wanted to be strong, or some sort of combination of the two. Okay, so because what a lot of people try to do is they can only view the world from one lens. So if they like to lift heavy, then all they can do is make you view the world from the standpoint of lifting heavy. If they finesse weights, all they can do is finesse weights. And what I like to do is present you with both sides of everything so that you can make your own decisions. Okay, because I don't want to enforce everything of what I believe on you. I just get the science together, present it to you, and you make your own decisions and find your own way to your happiness or to your goals. So with that being said, okay, like I said, there's two trains of thought. There's the people that want to hoist as much weight as possible, and then there's you just doing it to look good, to make muscles look good, or tone. Some people like that word tone. Tone is fine. It's really about the same thing, so or if you have performance goals. So what I'm going to say, what it is with that is, how you perform these lifts will change, because this concept I'm going to introduce you to is tension. Now, there's even different concepts within tension, but as far as this is concerned, we're using tension. And if you're going for strength or performance goals, you want tension on the system. So if I was to squat, I might or stance, and I might do things, try to stay more upright, and try to do things where I can bring into play as many muscles as possible. Okay, now let's just say, like for me, an example, when I used to squat really, really heavy, I could never get a good sweep on my quads. So I had to squat in two different styles just to make that happen. Now I don't care as much for the weight. I'm at limit strength for most of the stuff I do. So now if I want to squat and I want to squat for my quads, I could bring my feet in. And when I bring my feet in, I don't stay as upright, but I can get more tension on my keep more tension on my quads. Because what happens is, once you get down below parallel, and the EMG studies will back this up, once you get down below parallel in the squat, there's no extra benefit as far as making your quads look good. There's more for glutes and hamstrings, but not so much for quads. It's a point of no return. Okay, so as turning it in here, I'm down into here. I got my stance closer. I keep everything on the quads. Okay, so that would be tension. Now, with looking good, you can make the muscles work harder, and by using what we call continuous tension. All right, so where the normal person might squat, they got their, let's just even take the same stance. They got their stance, and they're just going, they get up here, the rest, they get up here and the rest. There's nothing wrong with that, but with continuous tension, you're going to make your muscles work harder at the same weight. And if you make your muscles work harder, there's more tension on the muscles. Those muscles have to work harder, which you force yourself to get greater benefits of that muscle. So if I squat with continuous tension, I would come down to my point of no return right in there, come up, I wouldn't lock out, I would stay right here where I have tension on the quads, back here, boom, and I would just keep it moving for whatever, and the quads would start burning, because I'm keeping continuous tension on the muscle. It's not getting a break, so they're working harder, and as they're working harder, that burn is going to come and kick in, and sometimes that burn is also associated with fat loss. You've probably heard me say that many times, through hormonal means, but that's one benefit of that. So, and there's other places where it is, where like if you did the shoulder press, if you want continuous tension, if you want to isolate and maybe lift more weight, you might have a wider grip, so you don't have to move as far, but I would probably bring mine in, come all the way down, so I make the shoulders work harder, meaning that these muscles have to work over a longer range of motion. Okay, all right. Now, also, a lot of people, when they shoulder press, they will come all the way up overhead and they'll stop. Okay, now There's no tension on the muscles when you do that. All right, so what people who want continuous tension would want is they would start maybe just a little bit out here. See, that way this muscle has to work to keep this weight from taking it just like this. So those muscles will have to work, and you would go into here, stay in your nice little tight range of motion, and you wouldn't lock out. You would avoid locking out, and you would keep moving to keep tension on those muscles. And the same could go for a lot of things, leg extensions, where people would normally come all the way back down here, pull the leg off the pad, put it back up against the pad, and sort of that deal, where if you had continuous tension, it would always be on the pad. You would stop probably short of no tension, and you would straighten them out. And there's different exercise, bench presses, and all that. And even with reverse flies, because right here, if the as the weight is hanging right here, there's no tension on the muscle. Okay, so if I just stop it short right here, there's tension on the muscle still. And there's another exercise I use called the, I don't know what it's called. I think it's hanging swing destroyer set. It's John Meadows' exercise. I call it the John Meadows swings. And the thing with that exercise, people's like, well, you're using momentum. No, what it is because I never let this weight hang here just like this, and I continuously swing. Okay, so I have to use my muscle to lift this weight here, and then I have to use that muscle to stop these weights from getting to this point. So as I'm doing a swing, I can keep continuous tension on those muscles for a long period of time, even with a good heavy weight, because I am using a swing. And I can even isolate, because as I'm hanging down and don't go all the way back to here, I'm not using my back muscles. I can keep it on my rear delts, and it's a great exercise for that. I have a video of that somewhere. Maybe I'll put it out. But anyway, that's the thing about tension. And when you're primarily lifting to add shape and build muscles and make muscles look good, you want to keep tension on the muscle. More tension means muscles work harder. If you're going for strength, you want to bring extra muscles into it. When you see a baseball pitcher throw, he doesn't try to isolate. He tries to get as many moving parts as possible. Okay, because as more parts as he can get moving, the more muscles that he can use to help him produce the force needed to launch that ball at you. So, and if you don't believe me, look at Randy Johnson. Look at Randy Johnson pitch. He's, of course, he's retired now, but he's a Hall of Fame pitcher that was known for throwing a nice hard fastball. Look at Randy Johnson and observe how many joints he's moving at versus the novice. Like the guy who's out there and they're throwing out the first pitch of the game and they just barely, and the ball only flies like 10 feet in front of them. Okay, you'll see the differences, and you'll see what I mean with these with this concept here. But with tension, actually, I'm going to show you another exercise, and what I did was actually a couple exercises. One, it is a lateral raise, and what I do with this is I bring an L shape to my arm just like this. Okay, so with this L shape, there is a shorter distance between here and my shoulder that is doing the work. There's a shorter distance. Okay, so what I do is so I can lift a heavier weight because there's not as much tension on the muscle. And what you'll see in this video is when I straighten out my arm just like this, there's a lot more tension on the muscle because the weight moves everything, or the center of gravity, sorry to get too sciencey on you or biomechanical, the weight moves the center of gravity further from my shoulder joint, and you're going to see me go, oh, and I'm going to drop the weight just like that. And you can do that with there's ab exercises I have where I do that too. I call it the Jerry Telly leg lift. I might have made it up, but I got the concept from Jerry Telly. I'm not those people that try to steal stuff and try to act like I made it up. I give credit. I'm hip-hop. I don't steal. But anyway, with that, and that's another point of tension. See, because that longer arm makes me put more tension on my muscle, okay, as opposed to this shorter arm. All right, and that's another reason why when guys do lateral raises, they will bring it up and then they'll start to do this sort of deal. They won't keep those arms straight out because it's too much. They're not strong enough to handle that tension. Okay, so for my people that want to look good, I try to get them to keep more tension on the muscle and be more technical with their form so they can have that tension and receive the benefits. If it's strength, it's a different animal, it's a different ball game. You want to call in more muscles, like I said, but it's no hard and fast rule of what and when. It's just you want to say, I'm doing this because, and whatever decision you make, you just run with it. So remember, you don't have to view the world through one lens. You just take the information that you have available to you and use that to provide your own path.